Since the No Kings protest is over, aka rebels without a cause, paid for by the Communist Party, since that's over with, people who don't have no legitimate fight because it's not real here in America, since that's over with, let's get back to the business. Now, the newest fear mongering is people are going to starve. American citizens are going to starve because of the government shutdown and because they will not receive their SNAP benefits for the month of November, which we know Thanksgiving is coming up. This is your newest fear mongering. Now, what they fail to realize and tell you is that the Democratic Party voted to shut the government down. If millions of Americans are going to starve, let's talk about why. Let's blame the Democratic Party because, see, we know they don't care about Americans. This is why they want to shut the government down, because the Republicans wouldn't capitulate to spending trillions more dollars on illegal alien health care. Now, we already spent trillions of our tax dollars on illegal alien health care. Just alone in Illinois, we've spent in 2024 $1.6 billion on illegal aliens free health care. So your Democratic Party would rather millions of Americans to starve because they want to spend trillions more of our tax dollars for illegal aliens to keep getting health care. All right? So you got to put the blame. We got to talk about how it started. You can't go into the middle of the story without talking about the beginning of the story, that the Democratic Party
Hey,
would rather
John.
vote to shut the government down to keep illegal or to fight for illegal aliens to get free health care, all on their American tax dollars expense. So that's the story. Just like you all refuse to talk about how this illegal invasion started, you all just want to talk about the middle of the story, that Trump is getting these people up out of here, but you refuse to go to the beginning of the story and talk about how they got here when Biden undid 94 executive orders and opened the border to allow them to come in unlawfully. So we have to talk about the beginning of the story before you all just skip to the middle of the story. All right. So the purpose of this video is, if millions of Americans starve, blame your Democratic Party because they care nothing about Americans, and we've been trying to show you that. But everything they care about, anybody who they are trying to protect, is illegal aliens. Okay? So go talk to your Democratic Party, tell them to open up vote to open up the government so the millions
Hi,
of
Paula.
Americans can have a great Thanksgiving. Okay?
Yeah, she says it well. I'm encouraged by how many people are leaving the left. It's pretty serious. All right, I'm going to replay an old one from 2020. I'm archiving these. Facebook and YouTube is taking them all down, so I'm kind of archiving them, getting them up on other platforms. We'll see how well this aged. This is Contessa came on, and we talking about it. Just after the vote, but yet they hadn't announced that, oh, Biden won. They hadn't stole it yet. So Contessa was on. There was a lot of rallies scheduled for Trump and all this and that back then. We'll see how well this aged. Okay, I got some other
Hi.
clips too. I want to. There was also a shooting today out in L.A., southern L.A. County, where they stopped an illegal, and the illegal started ramming the cars. He used his vehicle to try to hit him, and this and that, and they shot the illegal in the arm. This is the guy they caught the second time that they had escaped, an illegal, and they shot him in the arm, and all the elite people in LA are protesting and trying to get this guy out. He's in the hospital. The Also, one officer also got shot by a ricochet and was injured in the whole thing. I mean, if the guy's ramming you with his car, you got to shoot him. So he gets hit in the arm, and they're all upset. The left is all upset. It's ridiculous. I'll be talking about that a little bit later after I play this here.
We have all patriots out there. Here, let me put this in chat.
This is my friend Contessa.
Yeah, I'm live here with Contessa. I guess Lori's a little late or something. Let me put that close line over here. I missed it. Not in time. But we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on and stuff like that.
Remember, this is 2020.
So much going on.
Yeah, there's a lot. Did you see the things today?
Man, the bomb, the opening statements for the voter fraud.
Yeah.
That
they didn't show enough evidence. I think they're smart not doing that,
Yeah. They're trying to completely discredit it and just say that we're crazy and there's baseless. They're making all these claims that they're baseless. I mean, they're telling you exactly what it is. This is what we found in such state, these numbers, these many votes, this is how it happened. And then the left says they're baseless, even though we just heard all of the facts.
I can't seem to post any pictures in chat. Is anyone having trouble with chat?
And evidence. So
I agree. Also, the facts on the voting machines, and on the election night, they thought they had enough votes already in with all the fake mail-in ones that they were buying all the tickets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So then they had to go and stuff the ballots. They had a backup plan where they could close down the voting and then sneak other votes in after the fact. And then there's videos of them making out the ballots right at the thing where they blocked all the anyone that was for Trump out.
I posted a couple pictures in chat. I can't see it from my end. Can anyone else see them on your side?
From watching.
Yeah, they said that if you were voting for Trump, they weren't allowing you to fix your ballots. Like if you wanted to redo it or fix it, those people, they didn't allow them to do it. But if you wanted to redo your ballot and you were voting
for a Democrat, they were doing those early. Yeah, actually, in Pennsylvania, they were letting you on election night come and fix it or something. It was and a lot of people didn't get a hold of it and all that. And there was a lot to go through. On the Democratic side, as soon as they came in, they checked them and come fix your ballot.
Yeah,
and they did a whole bunch without the signature things and all that kind of stuff. Crazy. Let me bring this up on screen. Let's see where we're at. So what kind of events you've been having out there?
I was just going to say one more thing about the voting thing that I saw today. How about the fact that I can't pay attention to every detail, but somewhere in some of the voting booths or whatever, they actually wrote the word Republican, or maybe it was on the ballots. They wrote Republican, but for the L, they put the uppercase I. And then, so we see it as an L, as a lowercase L, but the algorithm in the machine will not pick it up as the word Republican.
Okay.
And just it just skips right over it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of thing too, but not counting them. There's allegations of them running the thing through the machine, Biden votes through the machine 3 times. They count them 3 times. You heard about the thumb drives in Georgia where they had votes on and thousands. Oh, they accidentally put in 10,000 instead of 1,000 something votes. Was almost 10,000 votes more for Biden. And that in Georgia, those numbers were supposed to come out last night at midnight. I haven't heard them, right? Or was it tonight at midnight? Last night, I think.
It's too much
to keep up
with all the details.
Huh?
It's too much to keep up with all the details.
Oh, there's a lot going on in Wisconsin. And the other thing is, the rest of the states nationwide, Biden got about the same number of votes as Hillary, if you don't count the states that were all in question. Now, in the states in question that they shut down the voting on, he got an extra 9 to 10 million more votes or something than Hillary did. Something like that. It's just in those 9 states. And pretty much in these certain cities where they were counting. Now, some of the votes in some of these areas was 3 times the population. the vote was. Total vote. They had, like, say a city is 100,000. They got 300,000 votes somehow.
Yeah. Way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think
it came from.
Either way, I feel like the Democrats are having their way because it's
the media will
so
not
murky. Like, there's so many, we can't keep track of like what was going on in each state and each county with the fraud that was found. And it's just become so murky. Like, I hope that they'll be able to, they're gathering all this evidence. And I hope that at some point they'll be able to really lay it out clean and smooth and say, okay, this is truly what it was.
He's smart not doing it out in the public, because some judges will say that it's wrong to put it out in the public like that, kind of thing. So that's why she don't want to. Plus, she would give up her case for the other side to work on it already, trying to counter it. Because she's got the person working that made the machine or something like that, the software, in Venezuela, people that were down there on the vote, knowing that how this machine and software works. Something about servers over in Spain and Germany. There's a lot of that stuff. And now, what have you heard? I've heard conflicting stories that we did go in and get them. And other people were telling me that, German military picked them up where she wouldn't be, Merkel wouldn't be friendly on the server, giving us the information on those servers and stuff.
I've only heard that we got them.
She's part of the globalist bunch,
Yeah.
So what have you been hearing?
I didn't hear what you just said. I've only known that we went in and we picked them up, and that they're able to see like who did what they did, what time, what day, like as far as putting in votes or taking out votes or switching votes, and even like who did it, who was inputting. I mean, that is heavy evidence that we have.
Well, some of it can be pretty much erased, but normally there's log. But if someone gets in there after the fact, they can get rid of it, or it would take a forensic study to find them. Once they wipe them out, so unless they start hitting them with hammers and stuff like Hillary with the phones, that kind of thing. What was the other thing I was thinking about? What about Michigan with where they weren't certifying in the county? And then they went after him for racism, and they had like a 3-hour call with him. And the other ones were all, you bring back white supremacy, you should go check into this. And this whole study, now they're talking about bringing back racial studies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and oh my God.
Now New York City teachers aren't coming in, so they're closing the schools. They forced them on this. In New York, the teachers aren't coming in because they want more money. Plus, they want more money for like BLM. They're adopting the BLM platform.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's against the nuclear family. That means no mother, father. That means the government takes care of the kids and indoctrinate them. Then there's some on the left that are talking about putting us in re-education camps. They have to get rid of all the Trump supporters.
I know. Well, I mean, going back to what BLM is doing, like their mission statement, you only have to trace right back to, that's exactly what Nazi Germany did. Their idea of like the village raising the children really means,
and the kids had spied on their parents and turned them in. And
yes, and the people at the schools becoming their best friends and saying, "Oh, your parents don't know. You can trust us." They're old fashioned. Don't listen to what they say.
They were grooming them even back then.
And yeah, like they're pitting them against their parents. They're demonizing their own parents to them. And they promise them all this stuff, and then
it's gonna be great. Everything will be shared wealth. They run against the rich. White privilege is economic class. But how are you going to raise up the black people if you've gotten rid of the fathers and 60% in the families and 60% of the male blacks drop out of high school?
Well, that's what makes me so sad about this whole thing is that, like, I mean, I don't know why they can't.
And it's systematic ruining of the black family.
They're the ones. That's like on the same level as Margaret Sanger. The the goal is to destroy the Black population.
Well, they'd like to do it.
Don't even see it. Why are they falling for it again?
Well, they want to bring in Islam and Middle East to replace us. It seems like the one world government in Islam they can very easily.
Must be just
right.
They can out of fear,
John.
Really. So, where do you think this is going?
I think that we're going to have some reprieve, but I think that we need to get ready because, I mean, as a Christian,
70% of these students are coming out already wanting socialism. That number is going to go only higher.
Yes, I don't know. You know why? I can have a little bit of hope because Trump said that he's going to change.
Let me know if this aged well from 5 years ago.
Education and make.
I'm going to be playing some other videos too after this. This is one's over.
Make it like patriotic,
Well, we got to win this thing first.
Yeah. So
because the way they did this election, you can bet they'll do that plus more in the next election.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to go crazy on him. But I have some hope that he'll be able to do that. Because at the end of the day, listen, it's biblical. It's prophesied that all of this stuff has to happen. So we can't really stop it. Our goal is to be ready for it. Our goal is to, for me, I'm going to tell you, like, as a Christian, the only way to be ready for what's coming is to, have a relationship with Jesus and, be on the right side of that fence. But, so all of this has to happen. And I think that many of us, the more prepared we are for it, the closer we are to God and the better off we're going to fare for it. So, I mean, I've been ready. Like, we'll see what happens, but I can go live in the wilderness and I'll be fine. I don't need.
Well, they might come get you though.
I don't know that I can live in the wilderness for a little while, not long.
Exactly, they might.
I live in upstate New York. The staying warm is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want. I think about.
I see some videos from Germany and that they were out hiding in the attics and everything. They came house to house searching them to find every Jew so they could kill them. They went out in the woods and got them all in little pamphlets and pipes they'd buried under the ground. They came and got them. Used detecting things to find stuff under the ground to find them to go get them. They were that determined to kill them all. Yeah. In Russia, they had much of the same too. Were trying to survive out in the woods, and they came and got them. They crucified them actually. They put them on up on the crosses, and I'm not talking the 1918 time. I'm talking more like 1820s when it really started. The whole Marxist movement.
We'll see what happens. Like, I'm not afraid to die, so.
Yeah. You gotta go. They say it's God's work to fight to save others, and save the country. And that,
He does. And I know that God will fight for me. God will fight for us. But at the end of the day, the Jews survived it, right? I mean, that is probably my worst nightmare.
Well, the Jews survived it because they were able to get out of Germany a lot. If this goes worldwide, are you going to be able to survive it? If they get control of the world, that's what their goal is.
Yeah.
New world order, the great reset, make it all socialist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that little by little, we'll be prepared. It is scary, but you got to have something greater to hold on to. Like, you can't just think that you're going to rely on yourself and there's nothing greater out there that's going to get you through it. So
when you get to heaven, God doesn't care what color you were, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't care what color we are now.
Yeah, I know. They use that as an issue. All right. It looks like you sent me a couple videos I haven't seen. So
well, those are others that I never really record myself, but other people, like, I'll do interviews or whatever.
Okay, I'll share them here. I haven't seen these ones, so bear with me here. Share a screen. You sent me two in the thing here.
But I do say, with all, I have to just be honest again. I'm a little bit, at this point, I'm kind of starting to leave, like, not pay so much attention to all these things, because I feel like we've just had, like, bomb after bomb after bomb of information. Like, oh, now we got this evidence. And I mean, I'm talking about all the way back to like Russian collusion and Mueller and Ukraine and then the laptops. And I mean,
well, I never bought into all that, stuff against Trump,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, we have to see things pan out at some point.
Yeah.
We have to see the consequence to that instead of like, they get us all hyped up like, oh, now we got this, but like we're not really seeing anything happen. So I'm just I'm kind of like slowing myself down and just being like, okay,
not getting too high, not too low.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait and see what happens, But
I know they're putting out some false stuff on the left just to trigger us up and down too.
Yeah,
stuff that we think we'd like, and it turns out not to be true. So I'm hoping that Michigan thing gets blocked and they get Georgia and Pennsylvania or Nevada and Arizona with Pennsylvania. Any combination of those.
Mm-hmm.
What's the situation in Sacramento regarding verifying the people who sign up claiming that they're citizens who may or may not be citizens? How good is the Secretary of State of California doing a job?
Well, the more I look into this, the more I see how this voting process with the mail-in ballot thing and the register all sort of effort is so susceptible to fraud. Now, our state representative, Alex Padilla, has declined to be part.
Now, back then, and this is 2020, they had this thing out in California where it was register all. It didn't matter if you were a citizen or not. That's a part of the way they were stealing it.
Part of to join the voter integrity board or the voter integrity network. And at the same time, he also, when requested, ahead of knowing there was going to be this whole mail-in ballot push, he declined as well to clean up the voter rolls, to do a mass effort to clean up the voter rolls. There's tons of dead people still on the voter rolls. There's tons of people who have moved away or
What's the situation in Sacramento?
Going backward. I'm sorry. I hit a button.
When you request your absentee ballot or you vote in person, but with a mass mail out, you cannot account for all of that. So by him declining, so that tells you a lot. Number one, by him declining to be part of the voter integrity board. Number two, by declining to clean up the rolls. Why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want the highest level of integrity in our voting process? And number three, this effort for all Americans is a Democrat-only led effort. And that is very interesting. Why is it only a Democrat-led effort? Why is there a forced registration? Why is there a mass mail out that was forced upon?
I can answer that on the forced registration. It's so they can have more names to use.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly what they do. They steal the ballots out of the mail. They steal
the ballots. And they want anybody who can vote, that they think, well, that's why
they can use it.
When we at the DMV, I don't know how it is in your state, but our DMV has it to where like you're automatically registered. And then
same thing on welfare.
And so how like if you're illegal here, you can now get your driver's license still. So when you're filling out your application for your driver's license, you're supposed to check. There's somewhere you're supposed to check that says like you're not a citizen, so that they won't enroll you in the
but they still
voter registration. But I mean, even that is like, how secure is that? Like, it doesn't, either they're not going to look at it, they're not going to pay attention to it, they're not going to check it, they're just going to go through, and they're going to be getting, voter ballots.
I hear you.
That we did not request. The governor changed all of our registrations on his own without our permission or without telling us ahead of time that it was going to happen. And he turned it all into permanent mail-in ballots. Those type of things tell you about the lack of integrity in this process, and it's very concerning. As far as the Latino vote having such a strong hold by the Democrats, Latinos are very humble, and especially in California, the population of Latinos that we have, they do tend to want to not rock the boat at all. They don't want to be seen. And, you know, as Latinos, we've been led for so many years to think that the Democrats are for the people and the Republicans are just the rich, racist ones that don't like us. And
side note, all the big donors are on the left. All the small donors are on the right.
Right.
And we're finding out more and more that that's not true. And unfortunately, we've been so poisoned by the mainstream media against the people that are really actually trying to help us that some people just can't even change. But many of us have, and we realize that we can end this cycle of realizing that the Democrats come, they say they're for us, but we don't see any change in our communities. They'll throw us a bone and give us like a little, here's a little Latino empowerment group here, but they don't do anything as
Joe, this was 2020, just after the voting happened, but they hadn't declared a winner yet. All right.
a whole to help our communities. They look the same. Our communities have looked the same, and in fact are just declining and getting worse as far as the poverty level, as far as crime, as far as like the low level of education. It's just getting increasingly worse. The homeless rate, as in all of LA, but the homeless rate and like the gang rate affects our Latino communities more than other communities. So we're not seeing any improvement by Democrat control.
Someone sent me a message that Fox News just called Georgia for Biden. Oh, let me hit cancel.
What? Again?
Yeah. But it's going to be contested. Election issue court. There's going to be court stuff filed tomorrow as soon as they certify it. Some of these.
Remember, this was like a day or two after the actual vote happened. They wouldn't call the damn races until they got enough votes.
Filings, they're going to wait until they certify to go against the certification.
Yeah.
I'll do this for Georgia voters. Let me come back.
This is kind of as it happened.
Back to you here. Let me stop sharing. So yeah, when was that video recorded?
That was at the Beverly Hills rally, sometime in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is before the election then. So yeah. You got a lot of races out there that supposedly have 100% of the vote in, and yet they're not calling them for Republicans. Are they going to try to find more votes out there? And this is in congressional races and some of your local races.
Yeah. They're just stalling. Well, what we have to do too.
Like last time, Kim Young was 6.5 points ahead, and she was even in Washington doing her orientation, and they called her back because they found votes. You know? I know,
and I know that what we're doing on our end is we have to go pretty much like door to door to have people verify their signatures, and then you don't always catch them at home, and. So
you're trying to do that to clean up the vote, actually.
Yeah.
Because you got some that are very close the other way, too, where the Democrats are slightly ahead.
Right.
Right. And there's still some vote that isn't counted, and they don't want to do it, it seems like. They're around 86, 87%. Republicans are ahead. And how come they haven't counted them yet? They're waiting to see how they can stuff more in there. So
exactly. They're like stalling. Because I think that some of those.
There's not enough vote left here.
Arizona and California take the longest time to count votes. It's ridiculous. I mean, it takes them a month or more. Technically,
looking at the math, supposedly how many votes they have left to count versus how much the other person's ahead for them even to go ahead, but somehow they're going to still win those in California.
That's what I'm saying. It's too big of a process, and there's so many people involved in it. It's just too murky. So I have to just wait and let the courts decide, honestly. Like I don't know. I get it's important to do this whole recount, but it's really such a complex and it's all murky. So
yeah. Well, what I like is the paper ballots where you run them to the machine that counts it.
John.
And then if there's issues, they can be.
They keep the vote open until they manufacture enough votes.
Hand count, so you got a paper trail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, in some of these Pennsylvania areas and some of the other ones, like in Michigan, they're saying that like they were too perfect and they found out that they ran. They believe there's witnesses that testified that they were running like a Biden voter through the ballot through a copy machine to make a whole bunch up to run to the machine. And then some of the machines, they had pre-printed ones that they could use over and over again. They'd run them several times through the counting machine, you know, so you won't have that many paper ballots. That's why they need an audit. Then there was counting going.
Wasn't the Marxists that said they don't care if they get the votes, they just care about if they get the person to count the votes, the ones that count the vote?
Where the person was picking up Trump voters and telling them, Biden, hand them to the other person who would just put them in the Biden pile without even looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going through like 3 right in a row. They were all Trump ones, the witness,
Right.
you know, within a minute. And they were putting them all in the Biden stack anyways. So I don't know. I don't know if you've been keeping up on that stuff much or not so much.
I do, of course. Like, I mean, I see all of it happening, but like I said, I just want to wait until the court kind of like figures it all out.
Yeah, they need
a lot of the courts are all corrupt too.
to. You know, I'm about to bring up your other video. Go ahead.
Maybe it's just too much, and I just want like the summary at the end, the conclusion at the end. Like, let's just skip to the conclusion.
Well, don't you think if they win all the stuff against Biden goes away, Biden Hunter against Obama, all of them goes away?
Well, that's what we're waiting for, right? Because Trump said he has, you know, all of this, like, they should be arrested for all these various things that they've uncovered, the Obamagate, the spying on the campaign, and, you know, like, so they're only going to go away if
fraudulent thing when they went into
arrest these people.
Well, do you think they'll start arresting us for helping them? And I think they're going to try to prosecute Trump and anyone close to him.
Yeah, they're definitely.
That was a good prediction I had back then. That was their goal. They prosecuted Trump because they thought he'd run again.
Do a Flynn to him, you know?
They just say, like, we can't arrest him while he's a president. And so they're waiting for him to get out of office.
Well, that's why they control all these AGs in all these states, because that's how they're getting away with this.
Well, yeah, and the FBI, the CIA, I mean, the department, which one is reliable? Like, that's the other problem. Like,
yeah,
none of them
it seems like the ones on the conservative ones are very meticulous and go so slow, it takes too long to get it done, you know. On the left, they right away get out there in front of a microphone, they're charging you and all that kind of stuff. They don't need any proof like Russiagate. And remember, what was it, Shifty Shift, saying, "Oh, we got so much proof." You know, it goes to the highest level.
They had a whistleblower.
Yeah. I think the whistleblower was himself making the goddamn thing up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So now we really did have a red wave, actually. When you look at it, they weren't stuffing all these ballots. We took a lot of seats, took 3 state houses, all that kind of stuff, and we were already in the advantage on that. What's your thoughts on that? Don't you think?
Red tsunami.
Yeah. I mean Trump probably got 80 million votes, which would be a super record.
We I mean, in California, I don't know about other states, but like I know here,
New York,
several seats. I just saw that the Republican won over the incumbent Democrat in one of the counties over there. I saw
there's 3 other races where the Republicans had supposedly 100% of the votes in, but they won't call the damn races. Somehow they're going to jerry-rig those three House seats. There's 3 other ones. There's 2 up near like Syracuse and North. Those are pink.
Yeah, I was talking about New York, but that was happening in California too. In this case, I was talking about the 3 races in New York that they end up stealing
right now on the map, and they're at supposedly 100% of the votes in, but yet they won't call them. And then there's one down on Long Island area.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 seats that should already be awarded to the Republicans, and
they were like 3% ahead with 100% of the vote in. How the hell they steal those?
And supposedly 100% of the votes in, and they still won't call them.
Yeah, man. A part of this is I'm going to do some other videos too, but I'm rerunning 2020 just after the vote had happened, but they hadn't called everything yet.
Well, you know that like
it was like 2 days after the election, and they still hadn't called many places, many states.
Listen, Nahum, They were supposed to show her. She was going for our state senate,
Mm-hmm.
in New York State Senate, and they told her the vote, and then someone snuck some pictures of behind the machines, the numbers on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't mixing with the. I played her
numbers.
video on this with what they told her, what was recorded. So she was supposed to be able to see all the machines when they bring them to the warehouse. Days and days. It's been weeks now, and they still haven't brought these machines to the warehouse.
They're not.
She
They're
can't get a look on them. She tried to go to the courts, and the liberal judges are so, they're giving delay, stalling tactics. They're going to doctor these machines so they match what they said was the vote.
Well,
Okay,
they're just trying. They're just waiting. With the confidence that Biden's going to get in, because
there was a big to-do out in California. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I guess one of the illegals they had caught for the second time ended up ramming the ICE people, and they end up shooting him in the arm. And the left is all upset that he got shot in the arm. If someone's trying to run you down and kill you, you have the right to shoot him in the arm.
once Biden,
They can cover anything.
they can stop all. We're not going to look into anything. It is what it is. They know they can stop all these efforts.
Well, we got King Como in our state. I don't know. You got Gruesome, right?
No. He does witchcraft on your state. I'm telling you. There's a reason why New York.
He doesn't want us to have Thanksgiving, and some people have canceled out of Thanksgiving because of this stupid thing.
Then let them. You know what? If they're going to listen to that, then they deserve to have a lonely.
They want to do this for Christmas too.
Thanksgiving.
They hate Christianity. They don't want you to do the church.
Right.
They hate our holidays like Christopher Columbus, Thanksgiving, because that's colonialism, and they hate.
Yeah, Mondani wants to cancel the Christmas and Thanksgiving parades in New York City. Are you kidding me?
Christmas also because of religion, and Easter. They want to cancel all of them. They're cancel culture.
Right.
The Great Reset. They're fine with Islam holidays. That's fine, but not.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Or Jewish. Jewish they hate too.
Yeah.
They hate both of those.
So we'll see what happens. Guess what? I'm gonna have a lot of great Thanksgivings. I got Thanksgiving for me is starting on Sunday.
Routine
Okay.
checkup?
Now, being Hispanic from other countries, when you come to America, do they celebrate Thanksgiving or?
Yeah, we celebrate it here.
Oh, okay. Once you've been here a little bit, it becomes part of their tradition too, right?
Yeah.
Was there anything similar to that from where you came from? Any holiday like that?
In Puerto Rico, we do celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's where Christopher Columbus landed. It's Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So we do.
He thought he landed on the American continent, but it was one of the islands there in Puerto Rico, I believe.
In the Caribbean. Yeah.
In the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I seen today someone posted that was actually part of what's one of the islands of Puerto Rico. So you got little islands around you, small.
Yeah, we have. Well, there's several. There's two that are built up, Culebra and.
As long as you got Puerto Rican heritage, what'd you think of? They found all the stuff that was stashed in the warehouse by your governor or whoever your president.
Well, yeah, like I said,
so they could blame Trump for not getting stuff in.
They've all been taken out of office, arrested for corruption. The one we have right now doesn't even want to be governor, but she kind of just had to take the spot.
Wasn't there two people that went down first?
Trump. I remember they were blaming Trump. Why aren't you sending aid? Why aren't you sending
And they were.
We did. And I also understood that part of it was, the logistics of getting to an island during a hurricane, with stuff.
Or just after it, yeah.
So even trying to fly a plane in for a few days with no, the towers were out, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't be having the signals to even fly a plane in safely. But whatever, we did.
Well, how come the media doesn't go after Biden? He's ahead of some cancer donation thing, and all the money that's been donated has gone to them and the people that are on the committees. These are paybacks. Mm-hmm. And what doesn't go in their wages goes in their travel. They paid zero into the cancer research.
Yeah, I saw that.
All the money's gone.
Just like Haiti. Clinton's with Haiti.
There was billions there, actually.
But I do want to clarify something about Puerto Rico and Trump. And when we had the hurricane, everybody can ask. They're talking so much about Trump because he threw the paper towels at the people, and the media is trying to demonize that, and they try and make him look like, oh, how insensitive. He's like, here, hurricane victims, have a roll of paper towels. No, let me tell you, first of all, we are a type of people that are going to be festive, happy, joyful. We party in the worst of times and in the best of times, okay? That's how we are. And people that went over there when Trump came, they were happy. They were like, oh my gosh, we're going to go see Trump. They were excited. It was playful. It was like a playful exchange. It was trying to like lift the mood of people who are going through this disastrous situation. It was absolutely not a situation of Trump being, you know, some greedy, stingy guy just throwing a pack of paper towels at the suffering people. That was just awful. So I need to clarify that. Definitely. But now our governor supports, the governor of Puerto Rico supports Trump.
Do you think that Puerto Rico will ever vote conservative or Republican? Because they're pro-life, right?
I think that there's work to be done on the island to communicate that. That's what we've been doing so much in the Latino community, because there was not that connection, right? It's like there wasn't that connection.
Well, the only news they got was CNN, MSNBC,
no. Like Univision and Telemundo, all the Spanish stations are way worse, way more exaggerative, you know, with how they report things. So,
how have they been reporting the conservatives in America? When I know they've interviewed some.
Yeah, but they don't accurately portray. You know how many interviews I've done for Univision and Telemundo and other Spanish stations? Yeah. They ask me for interviews, and then they never show up.
They never show them.
They
can't find enough in it to harm you with it. You know,
either that, and I don't give them any content. Like they can't do anything. My content is so positive and like factual. Mm-hmm. They can't even they can't find anything.
Can't call you a liar or
none of that. So that's what happens. But this is the big effort that we're doing now as Latinos, as a Latino community, is that we are trying to educate people on making that connection. What are your values? Remember, think about what our values are and look at what the platforms are and make.
For those just hopping in, this is I'm going to be doing some other videos too, but this is a replay of 2020 right after the vote, but before they called everything. So right in between the two things, you know, those 4 or 5 days where they hadn't called the race.
That connection, because that has really been what has driven the increase in Republican Latino.
So far, I think it aged pretty well.
Latino votes over this last election.
Oh yeah, I think if you got another 4 years, that would even go even higher. And I don't even believe the polls that they're telling. I bet you it's actually higher than what actually they say it is, because I don't know they have an accurate count of how many Hispanics voted which way and how many blacks voted each way. They got some idea that it's gone up, but I think it's even higher than that. You know, you can't really interview someone who's sitting there